and drips away. Days burn, disintegrate. Years roll along and fade. Don't let them slip away. Right here, right now, today. These are the good old days. Right here, right now, today. Hey, these are the good old days. Yeah, you know we going to Zellers, son! Picking up my friends in my mom's car. Don't need a map cause we ain't going far. Piled in the back with all my boys. We're headed to Zellers and we're looking for toys. I'm wired like I stuck my finger in a socket. Allowance burning a hole in my pocket. Saved all my money from my paper route. Gonna splash some cash. We going out to
Zellers with the fellas. Zellers with the fellas.
Nobody keeps selling prices on toys. Nobody.
Ain't been to Zellers in a good long while. Me and the fellas tearing up the toy aisle. G.I. Joe, Turtles, Thundercats, He-Man. Can't make up my mind, it's all good to me, man. If I get Leo, can I also get Donnie? Will Grayscale take up all my pocket money? I do like the look of that Centurion. You can lose your mind when you're toy shopping at
Zellers with the fellas. Zellers with the fellas.
Zellers, only you'll know how little you paid.
My head is spinning, the pressure is on. Mom's got an appointment at the hair salon. So hurry up, pick something my mom demanded, or else you're gonna go home empty-handed. So snap decision, hope I made the right call. A Batman, Merman, and a bad ball. Back in the car with my boys and things. Man, oh man, I can't wait to go back to
Zellers with the fellas. Zellers with the fellas.
The source is Zellers. The sale is now.
Hey, it is good morning here in Canada.
Yo.
It is time for another episode of Zellers with the Fellers, and here are the Fellers. How you guys doing this morning?
Oh yes, so good.
Doing good
Actually,
now.
I've got an apology to make from the last episode. I showed up. I had the stupid hat on backwards. I had the sunglasses with the flippy flip thing, and I was just flipping them throughout the show, and I wasn't taking it very seriously. I know that we're all, hanging out, we're having fun and whatever, but I probably could have been a little bit more serious about it. So I brought along an actual appropriate piece of item of clothing, which I think fits the bill more. Just going to go.
That's what we're looking for. I swear, before we do these streams, you just go to like your local novelty shop and what's the craziest thing I can bring to Zellers this morning? Now, guys, as advertised, we have a special guest this morning joining us, and so here's the story, because this is, to me, a very special guest. Earlier this year, we're going to start on a bit of a sad note. My grandfather passed away, and he was 98. He had a good run. Guy was a legend. But when you're 98, you kind of outlive a lot of your peers, and so when we were at the funeral, there wasn't a lot of people there. But there was two people there that I had never met before. Ron and Claire were their names. And they were just beauties. And so we sat down, and they're my dad's cousins. And I've never met them. But they talked like they were old friends. They were like, yeah, Gary and Ron are cousins as kids and all this stuff. And then my dad, because, he's proud of me as a 40-year-old man. He starts talking about my YouTube channel. He's like, Adam's got a channel where he restores old toys. And Claire says, very, very distinctly, she goes, when you say old toys, do you actually mean action figures? And I said, this is a very pointed question, Claire. And she goes, well, our son, Eric, your second cousin, loves action figures.
Oy.
All kinds. So then it was this thing where she said, you need to meet Eric. We need to connect you. So then our moms, we're two 40-year-old men, our moms, give us each other's contact information. So I sheepishly send a guy I've never met, who is my second cousin. And I was like, hey, our moms think we should hang out. And since then, we've been chatting online, having a great time. He's got a bunch of toys for me. I've got a bunch of toys for him. We've never actually met face to face. until right now.
Hey, Eric.
How's it going?
So it was like when doves cry, when I learned there was another Hodgins out there that loves collecting action figures.
Outstanding.
That's great.
Good to meet you, bud.
Yeah, same to you guys.
So I said the best way to meet a family member face to face for the first time is on a YouTube live stream.
With all your
Classic,
best
like
friends.
you do.
Throw them in the deep end.
But it's funny because like in the 80s, so I grew up in like northern Ontario and Eric grew up in like southern Ontario. So it was like, 18, 20 hours driving distance away. In the 80s, that was like a different world. Like there's no cell phones to keep in contact with people. So if you guys weren't like local, it was really hard to like kind of be aware of who your family was. So it's great. Eric, I've been loving chatting with you over the last like 6
same buddy.
months. It's been beauty. Now we do need to have Eric on and do another show sometime because this guy, he's got a great toy collection. But more than that, he's got the most impressive VHS collection I've ever seen.
Oh.
He's got,
Oh, nice.
the man is committed to the medium, and I love it.
That's awesome.
So
That is very cool.
this is what we're gonna do. But before we get going to Zellers with the fellers, we're gonna say a quick hi to the chat. First guy, nice and eager this morning was Zazel. He's here. But we've got Kiwi. What's happening, my man? And of course, got Gaz pulling double duty. We got Lilith here. Now, last time Lilith did a great thing where she just kind of played along from home and put in the comments what she was buying each time. So if you're watching along and you're like, man, I like to go to Zellers with the fellers, that's what, just play along, keep a record of what you'd buy, and then post it in the comments so we can see who would buy what, because there's a lot of stuff that's left on the eggs. We got Phil here. He's doing a little bit of double duty as well. We got Insane in the Toy Brain joining us this morning. Everyone's favorite champion is Kimbo.
Hello.
Oh, and look at this. So this is where all the legends are. That's my son.
There he is.
So my wife and daughter are actually out in Prince Edward Island right now. So my son and I are home alone. And I woke up early this morning to the dog, who is a new dog, had tore apart his bed. So our living room was just full of stuffing that the dog decided to tear apart last night.
Oh no!
So I was like, "Hey, Grayson, I'm going to do the stream. Enjoy."
You're in big trouble, buddy, when the missus comes home.
Yeah.
You're in the doghouse.
Probably shouldn't have said that story live on the internet. But TJC is here all the way from the UK.
TJ.
Kimbo's doing her thing. Oh, look at this. Crash asks, "Am I the surprise guest?" I'll give you 10 to 15 minutes notice if you're going to be the surprise guest, Crash. Jeff Morris is here. We got a good crew this morning.
Mm-hmm.
There we are. We are all set to go. Now, guys, this has become one of my favorite shows to do. And mostly because it stresses Phil out.
I had a shave because I was showing a lot of grays in my beard from the last episode. So
well, it's funny if you watch the last episode and just time lapse it, you can see yourself getting more gray as the episode goes on.
It's a stressful 60 minutes, I tell you.
The stress of pretending to buy toys we currently all own is
new stress is whether or not Gaz is going to drag me out of the toy store and onto the next one.
The level of Gaz's like aggression last time
was a gas station.
Intense.
It was a gas station. You're right. You're right.
You spend your hard given. Was it given? The money was given to us, right?
Yeah, we earned it.
We worked hard for that. Yeah, you had to spend it in a gas station when we were going to Zellers, man.
Yeah,
all right,
okay.
we got a little get to know you question here, Eric. We got for you. What's Eric's favorite toy line to collect? I think I know what it is, but what would yours be?
I'm gonna say the Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Cowabunga.
That was my guess as well. So Eric and I's moms are both knitters. They're fantastic knitters. And so one of the first things that as we're like chatting, he sent me a picture of his mom knitted me Donatello like sweater. And then I sent him a picture of my mom knit me a Mr. T sweater. So we were like, yeah, we get it. We're both in the same situation.
That's great.
And so there we go.
If it wasn't early August and boiling hot in my place, I would go grab it and wear it. But
so it this week has been like a heat warning in Canada. It's been intense. I was up at camp with no air conditioning, and like you just stand still and you're just like sweating everywhere. So it's we're not wearing sweaters today, but I appreciate you're willing to do it.
It's pretty warm here with the high humidity count. Boy, it's only 7.
Yeah, I think Gaz is like geographically the closest to us. Well, I know he is, but he's kind of in the same heat wave area there. But guys, we are heading to Zellers today with our special guest Eric. I didn't have time to make an Eric cartoon, so I made this little splash symbol of a special guest. But today, guys, we're going back in time to the scrambled television of 1990.
Ooh.
The forgotten year.
Here we go.
Everyone likes to say, like, oh, the 80s, the 80s, the 80s. But the first year of the 90s was a pretty great year for some stuff. And so I think we're gonna hit a few things here. But we all get the question is, why are we going to Zellers today? Like, what's so special about today? Well, it was just Gaz's birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy 10th birthday, Gaz.
This is Gaz's birthday celebration. Crash says I'm looking thinner because I sweated off 15 pounds over the weekend. That is an illusion.
I think I gained your 15 pounds.
That's an illusion, sir. I think the camera is making me look thinner than I should be. So it's a new decade. We're going to celebrate Gaz's birthday. And so I said, Mom, it's Gaz's birthday. Can the boys come over? And can we go to Zellers? And she said, absolutely sure. So we all scraped up our money, guys. And we all have 35 Canadian dollars to spend here in 1992. Except Gaz. It's Gaz's birthday, and so he showed up a little arrogantly, but with a $50 Canadian bill.
I'm rich, fellas. I'm rich.
You're comfortably well off.
Yeah, nothing felt better as a kid than getting a red bill.
I got
so you
2 loonies.
whatever you wanted.
You couldn't turn that into Spock.
Well, I just figured it'd be neat to see if Gaz had extra cash. Would he spend any at the gas station? Right? Like,
He's got money to burn.
That's right. But again, it's 1990, so the prices might be a little bit more than they would have been in like 87, where we came from before.
I think
So,
I owe Phil like 50 cents, don't I?
Yeah, you did.
$50, isn't it?
No, I think
Inflation.
Yeah. How many weeks has it been since the last episode, mate? Interest.
That's right.
Man.
Now, something I want to ask, as being the only other Canadian in here, Eric, do you have childhood memories of Zellers? Was Zellers your toy store growing up as a kid?
yeah, absolutely, it would have been. Funny enough, I was just thinking about it this morning. I'm like, I don't really remember the diner that much. Might have had like fries here and there, but yeah,
Right.
Zellers was definitely like the store we went to the most. Because I'm from a small town. We didn't have like a Zellers or a Walmart or even a Kmart at the time. But we'd drive 15 minutes into nearby Stratford, and they had a Zellers. So yeah, definitely, probably 80% of the toys I owned as a kid probably came from Zellers.
Yeah. There was moms that were like Zellers loyal. Like my mom was like, if Zellers doesn't have it, it's probably not worth having. Like,
Now, has anyone else in the chat been to a Zellers? I'm assuming that's pretty unlikely.
yeah, I think it's a specific Canadian thing. I don't know if we have any Canadians in the chat this morning.
So there wasn't Zellers in the States either. It didn't go south of the border.
No, it was just a Canadian thing.
Oh,
And I
right.
think it was owned by the Hudson's Bay Company, if I'm correct.
I think Lilith went last time.
Yeah, Lilith came with us last time he went.
Lilith's been once, yeah.
In 1987.
That's right.
The Zaza, you can't just put in the chat that you found more money.
Oh, you saw that.
Hey, no. So here's the thing. After my son is like, hey, I'm right here. So my son was born in 2007, and so his first toy memories were of like the last days of Zellers.
Oh,
So we used to go to Zellers and go toy shopping when he was like very, very young. And then when he was, I think 5, they went out of business. And when I say Zellers went into business, they sold the carts, they sold the shelves. Like it was everything must go. Empty building will be left. So, and yeah, we got some great stuff that Christmas, real cheap. Well, Jeff Morris is here, and he says, "I remember Zellers. I have Canadian relatives or relatives in Canada." No, we're not just making up a fictional story, Eric and I. I'm like, come on and corroborate my story.
I don't know.
Exactly. So in 1990, our family car was a 1986 Grand Marquis, and it had 2 doors. And so 2 doors on a massive car like this, those doors were huge and heavy, but we'd all cram in the back seat, and it was like almost a velvet velour interior in this thing, and it was the seatbelts would get red hot in the sun, would be beating down. You wear shorts in the summertime and burn yourself getting in the back. But this 2-door car, you could cram a lot of people in. So we're gonna cram in there, boys. We're gonna drive by the Thunder Bay sign. We're gonna see the Terry Fox Memorial, which means we are so close around the corner. The Zellers, and here is our 1990.
We did stop at the gas station this time.
We didn't need to stop at the gas station this time.
I think Eric is going to potentially get a new VHS for the collection.
That was where my eyes went right away.
Yeah, right.
Remembering, if you see a red 1, there's only 1 of those on the pegs.
I'm scanning. One Hulk Hogan. Boo! Nobody wants Hulk Hogan. The immortal slime. Get out of here.
Right. So we got.
Which Joe is that with the tape?
So his name was Rapid Fire, and he was one of the. He's a weird Joe because it's the same figure as like Super Trooper, and like the same mold was used. It's charcoal, I think, is the same thing as well, like the same head sculpt. It was this really weird head sculpt that was used like 8 times, and a bunch of rando figures. But yeah, this is the first time a lot of us have seen the Hasbro WWF figures in 1990, and so we got those guys for $4.99. GI Joes are $3.99 here. They're kind of reaching the end of their run. The Batman Toy Biz figures are $3.99 because they're a year old at this point in time. Now, this is something from my memory. The first time I ever saw New Adventures of He-Man on the store, they were in clearance. Like they were so bad that they were like immediately on clearance. So those guys are $1.99, and then we got TMNT, which has been out for 2 years now, and they're $4.99. So this is our first Zeller stop.
1/1 Hulk Hogan. Well, it's Gaz's birthday. He can pick first.
Why me? Because it's my birthday.
Yeah, that's what I already said it.
Wow, buddy.
Oh, and there's only one rapid fire.
We're kids. We wouldn't be picking first. We'd all just be going trash in the aisle. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Look
at those crappy He-Man figures.
Yeah.
How do you really feel, Gaz?
$2 though. It's tempting.
Phil.
I tell you.
I mean, they're just about as good as those Batman figures.
Wow.
Except for Bob the Goon. Bob the Goon looks cool.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Bob the Goon.
You think of all the Batman figures, Bob the Goon looks cool?
Well, for me, there's only a couple of things to get here. I think I'd probably grab that Laser Viper and Topside.
Oh, Topside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cass is real sheepish right now. Yeah.
Well, you know, we're going to other stores, so.
Sure.
I remember from last time.
Well, I'm just gonna grab a pen so I can keep track of who's buying what here.
We got a DVD player, so I can't use a VHS.
You had a DVD player in 1990?
Yeah. Phil sent it over from Japan.
Yeah,
My mom and his mom know each other, and she's like, "You got to check out this new technology."
You're welcome, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Anytime. I don't think it plays your region of DVDs though, buddy.
Moms don't know that.
It's so
And I'm here in
true.
Canada, so mom's back in Massachusetts, so she's like, "We got a DVD player. What's a DVD player? I don't know if those moms sent it over."
We're in 1990, like CDs were still like a new budding medium that people weren't trusting yet.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, have you made your final selection? Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
So you're going with what? The Laser Viper and
The Laser
Topside.
Viper and Topside. Man, Zellers is a little bit disappointing.
There's a lot there though.
There's a lot there, but
G-Force Racing's here.
Oh, G-Force is here.
G.
My man.
I'm gonna put this out there. By 1990, I was pretty much out of Joe, so none of these Joes actually appeal to me at all. So I'm gonna put the Joes to side. I'm definitely eyeing up a couple of the Hasbros though.
Mm.
It's just a matter of which ones I go for. I think I'm gonna if I can be bold and go next, I'm gonna grab a couple of Hasbros.
Talk to me, Phil.
I'll grab Andre the Giant because I still don't have him in my present day collection. He's eluded me, and I'm going to go for the greatest WWF Hasbro released, and that's the Macho Man. Oh yeah,
That's the one.
Does that come with a $1 million title belt on Ted DiBiase there?
It sure does.
It does. Yeah.
I've got a better version of that made by my buddy.
Well,
This guy.
There we go.
And I saw it happen in real time.
That's right.
Oh, actually, it was on Canadian time. It was a different time zone.
Well, it's funny. It's funny, Phil. My grandparents lived in St. Catharines, which was, again, like a 21-hour drive from where I grew up. And we went to see them twice as a child. We went once in 87 and once in 1990. And when I went in 1990, it was the first time I ever went to a Toys R Us. And they took us to the Toys R Us at St. Catharines. And it was the first time I saw Hasbros. And I picked up Macho Man and Andre the Giant. They were in my hand until we got to the register. And then in a clearance rack, I saw Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. And I had never seen them before, ever. And I was like, this is amazing. So I put down Macho Man and Andre and picked up some Chuck Norris Karate Commandos.
That's cool.
I'll pick them up instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy with those two. Great Hasbros. That'll do me at Zellers, I think.
I think Macho Man was the most reused body as well. Like everybody used that body.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fig.
Later line. You just got a super rare one. You just picked up one of the smoking guns.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't even know. I had to Google who that wrestler was. I didn't even know who the wrestler was, but I knew he was a green card figure. So,
yeah,
absolute steal.
All right, what are you guys thinking? You got your eyes on, if anything, here at their first stop?
I'm gonna grab the new Adventures He-Man and Skeletor.
Look at Nate. Doesn't care what his friends are judging him. He just
frugal shopper. That's 2 toys for $4.
Right?
He-Man and Skeletor. You can't go wrong.
No.
Yeah, true.
This is the closest you can go wrong.
You can, because they did, but I'm just a kid, so what do I know?
Yeah.
I still say that to this day.
All right. So what are the rules here? Because I had 4 of those 6 turtles as a kid. Is it assumed that I have them in this hypothetical situation?
No, so in this situation, you have nothing that you see in the shelves. So it can never be the example of I have him already at home.
Gotcha.
This is a
All right. For thematic purposes, I'm going to go with Ray Fillet and Surfing Mike there.
There you go.
It's summertime. There's summery figs.
Plus, you get bonus minifigs with them.
Yeah, and they're color coded. They're matching.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's great.
Good call.
Any other selections there, Eric?
I think that's it for now.
Alrighty. So I did have those He-Man figures when I was a kid. I remember being a little disappointed, but also a little excited, if that makes sense. So I got He-Man and Skeletor again, and then it's like, yeah, but yeah. Obviously,
would have played.
Look what I just happen to have right here on my desk. I got a little surfing mic ready to go.
Nice.
Beauty.
I love that Donnie in disguise. I love it. I had it. I also had Ray Fillet, although I called him Ray Fillet, which I'm sure maybe more than one of us here did. Unless I'm the only one. Cut it. Yeah, but I think I'm going to stick with the Joes. I liked wrestling back then, back now. But not enough to pass up on some Joes. So I'm going to grab Salvo because that is one badass Joe. The Ride of Might, he's got that card art is just dynamic. That guy is tough. He is tough, and he got to get tough in the 1990s. And I think on top of that, I'm going to grab the Captain Gridiron too. Because I really was into and really did dig the wackier side of G.I. Joe. And while I'm tempted to grab Metalhead just for a baddie, I'm going to hold off and see what the other stores have. So I'm going to take those two Joes, please.
All right. So everybody's grabbing something here. We got Gaz has got a couple Joes, but like almost reluctantly, he's got his birthday money. He's like, well, I better buy something, so I guess I'll get these two Joes, but there better be more elsewhere. Like it's dragging his feet a little bit. Phil snatches pretty quick. Macho and Andre. He's like, I gotta get something going on here.
Gotta get it going.
Right. Eric's getting Ray and Mike. Nate's got the New Adventures He-Man and Skelly. And Zazel's got Salvo and Captain Gridiron, the G.I. Joe that has football-shaped grenades.
Yep.
So we've all made our choices here. I'll explain.
What about you, Adam?
Well, again, I can't do it to the end because the nature of the game is I know what's coming. So I've written down what I'm going to get, and I'll explain at the end what I would have gotten. And again, Adam was not good at saving his money and thinking about the future. That was not that was his strongest point. But guys, it's time for our first unscheduled stop. So what happens is Zellers County Fair, which was the first Zellers you go to, had a small little mall attached to it, like a little mall. A mall is a rough store. It was like 8 stores kind of attached to it. And in there was a store, and I don't know if Eric remembers this or not. I had one called Bargain Heralds. Did you guys have a Bargain Heralds growing up?
The name sounds familiar. Like my parents probably have mentioned it, but I have no personal attachment or memory of it. So
all right. So it eventually became the Bargain Shop, and then it went out of business.
How many?
Yeah, the Bargain. And
you get a bargain.
You could get bargains there. But it was always like figures that were like a couple years old, or like knockoff figures. They had a small.
I would love that now.
Maybe they'll have a Chuck Norris.
And so the Bargain Herald that was in the Bargain Heralds that was in the Zellers Mall, eventually originally was a Mick Kids. So you go there and there's McDonald's themed clothes you could buy for your kids. It was a weird thing in the 80s called Mick Kids, and then it left and it was Bargain Heralds. So my mom would go there sometimes and get some deals. They had a really small toy section that would look often something like this.
Oh,
Karate Commandos, you called it, guys.
Yeah.
You called it.
Hot dang.
First.
So
the core.
Yeah. Yep. It's going nuts for the core.
Was that Boomerang Billy?
Dude.
Oh yeah.
I think that's Boomerang Billy, the Aussie in the center. The center on your right is Boomerang Billy, I believe.
Yep.
Look, it's not Zartan.
It's not Zartan, no. It's Xantar.
Right now, the core was very divisive because there was kids that you go to their house with like core figures, and they're like, "This isn't a Joe. Like, just what are you talking about?"
What are you talking
And there's
about?
guys like myself who's like, "This is a Joe whose backstory I can make up myself."
Zaz, look at these Joes. They're called the core.
Fun fact: they used to be known as Gung Ho,
Oh, really?
but they had to change the name to the Core because Hasbro said no.
All right, so
3 in a pack. What a bargain!
all right.
That is, it's like $2 for 3. I'm
That's a
tempted
great
to grab.
back too, yeah.
Now the thing about Bargain Heralds though is there's only one of everything.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
I'm gonna grab the middle pack of the core.
I'm
Figures.
grabbing the one with the Aussie hat guy.
So you're grabbing the one on the far right, Gaz.
Yeah, and that
Well-
Chuck Norris in the white and blue.
Birthday Gaz is stepping in and giving Gaz
Did you want that one? Did you want that one, Seth?
No, it's your birthday, buddy.
No. You get it. You get it. I'll get the other pack. I'll get the yellow one.
Let's. You know what? I'll buy it for you for your birthday.
No. You get that one. I'll take the yellow pack, and I'm taking the white and blue Chuck Norris figure.
What a couple of gentlemen.
All right, we're playing core tonight, fellas.
I'm gonna swipe those 3 LJNs on the black card. I think that's the last. That's the last wave of the LJNs.
For the rest of the people.
I'm taking a lot of them.
It's amazing.
Must be a very small toy sections at Harold's.
Yeah, there it was. We've cleaned them out. The thing. So what Phil
Those
is
black carded LJNs, they weren't they made by another company? I thought a Canadian company, actually.
They're made by Grand Toys in Canada.
Yeah.
They were in Canada only.
Yeah,
And so
like that Ultimate Warrior figure is worth heaps now.
yeah,
Oh yeah, at least a couple of loonies.
but in Canada, he was a peg warmer because when these came out, like 6 months later, the Hasbro's came out.
Mm.
We had
Yeah,
kids
right.
being like, "Do I keep buying the LJN figures? Do I switch over to the Hasbro wrestling figures?" And it was mayhem. You didn't know what to do.
Oh, they're great. And I had that Haku figure when I was a kid too. That's a great figure.
So I won that Haku figure. This is the most Canadian thing I've ever said in my life. I won that Haku figure in a fishing derby, a kids fishing derby in Red Rock, Ontario. I caught a 12-pound lake trout and I won a Haku wrestling figure. It was the best day of my life. Peaked early, guys.
Brilliant. Did any of you guys want an LJN or am I Gaz has made me feel guilty now. Am I okay to grab the 3 of them, or I'm playing
Yeah.
wrestling on my own here?
I'll play. I'll bring my
You'll
Sarge
play.
along.
Okay. Your LJN Sarge.
Yeah, I had to mail away for it, but it's bigger than all of yours, so mine's tougher. Don't break the campaign cover. It's fragile.
So Phil has spent $22, and so he is down to 13 left.
We left
Yeah.
nothing for Eric.
Now, Eric, do you want to buy Chuck Norris and the Super Ninja, or do you want to buy nothing?
I think all the cores are taken, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Okay.
were souped up quick.
Are you a wrestling fan,
you want-
Eric, or not?
Did you want to
like-
get one of
like-
the core sets?
Casually,
Okay.
not enough to buy any of these 3. Maybe
Perfect.
Boss Man, but no.
Eric, did you want the yellow pack? I'll give you the yellow pack. I'll just take the second one.
No, it's okay. I was
You sure?
waffling on it anyway, so
You sure that? Because that's a cyborg dude up on top.
I know. And I actually I found a picture online that's a little closer up of the green guy with the gas mask.
Yeah, he looks cool.
He's pretty badass. But
You sure? You
no,
sure?
you hold on to it. You hold on to
All
it.
right, all right.
I like how very friendly we're being.
Well, we're in Canada, right?
That's right. We're
How cool is that blue and white Chuck Norris, though? I've never seen that version. That looks pretty cool.
So that's the only Chuck
Yeah,
Norris Karate Commando that has eluded me this far. And to
Hmm.
find him that's not super yellow, look like he peed on himself, is
I'll
hard.
tell you what, Adam, in about 30 years, I'll sell them to you for
All right.
for
All right.
$100.
He looks like he should be in an anime or something.
Yeah.
Well, I've never
that's
seen
cool.
those flicks before. They were released in 1990 as well. Then.
So those were released in
no.
1987, but this Bargain Herald,
okay.
so it's old stock they're buying.
All right.
Who's the top guy?
His
That's
name
Harold.
was
No, not Harold. The blue guy.
Super Ninja, and he had
Super Ninja.
a wicked sword. He had
Mhm.
white skin but dreadlocks out of his mask.
Okay.
So I think this is an early vision of cultural appropriation going on. And then he also had a blade on his back foot, and you twist him, he did like a back kick. And so I think that came inspired by Roadhouse, where it's like left boot, and he had the blade on his boot.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
They actually look pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, they were great figures. They were by Kenner, and they had like the squeeze leg action, and they were great. And it was cool because like Chuck Norris movies didn't have any toy lines because they're all rated R movies. But in the glorious days of the 80s and 90s, you'd watch a edited for television version of a movie.
Yeah.
And so as a kid, I loved watching all the Chuck Norris movies. And like you could import these figures into any movie you wanted. Like it was just Chuck Norris. But as a kid, that red pant Chuck Norris would hang out with the Galoob Mr. T and the Coleco Rambo. And they were like the three guys that would get things done.
The three amigos.
That's right. So interesting little recap after our second stop here. Gaz, who had 50, spent 13, right? So he's still got a chunk of change left. Gaz, you're still going. You've got $37 left. And then Phil, who's famously the most like, oh, I got to get the deal. He spent 22 of his 35. So
Yeah.
he's got 13 left.
Happy with that.
But he's got if he's smart and keeps these 3 LJNs on card, then
Never playing with them. I'm never keep your hands off them, fellas.
Yeah, Leo's education is paid for, right? Zazel's only spent $10, so he's got 25 left.
I'm the new Phil.
Eric has spent $10. Not because he only wanted to, but because you guys bought everything before he had a chance. And then Nate, check this out. Nate's got He-Man, Skeletor, and 3 core figures, and he's only spent $6.
Wow, that's
yeah.
great.
Nate was our big winner last week. Is like the biggest haul, and so I think we got to take some shopping tips from Nate. He seems to
Is
know
that
how
the
to do it.
goal?
No, the goal is to have fun, but it's fun to be able to say at the end, like, oh, like Nate just happened to bring home the biggest lot of toys.
Quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
but
home.
that's what I did at the toy fair last weekend. When in there, people were like agonizing over big purchases, and I'm just like, "Ooh, cheap stuff!" Yoink, yoink, yoink. Walked out with a backpack full.
How many liters of toys did you get?
It was 10 liters of toys.
10 liters.
Who buys toys by the liter?
5 tubs of ice cream.
That's right. It's like a bulk food store, but for toys. All right, guys. So we are leaving the county fair. We left Bargain Herald's with nothing behind. It looks like war.
What a great shop.
Cleaned it out.
It looks like Soviet era Cold War Russia in there now. Just empty shells, bad children.
Chuck Norris and the Super Ninja.
Right, but it's lunchtime, so we're headed back to Mickey D's as Mom does. And it's 1990. It's Gaz's birthday, so it is late July. And in late July in 1990, the Happy Meal was the Super Mario Brothers 3 Happy Meal.
Oh, nice.
All right. So I did a random drawing again, as I often do. And
Trade's okay, boys. Trade's okay.
Trade's okay. There isn't a Miss Piggy in this. There isn't like a one.
Hey, Arthur Joe in that buggy did look cool, though.
It did. It did. Great. But Nate dives into his Happy Meal first, and he gets this little Goomba here, which
Nice.
I think was my favorite of the toys because he had a little suction cup, and then he'd do a complete backflip and land on his feet. It was great.
Solid.
And Gaz dives in, and he gets exactly the same thing. So they're matching. Zazel dives in, and he gets this guy.
Oh,
who,
nice.
You squeeze that little air thing, and he just walks across the table,
Oh,
going
So it's
going
not just
through.
a turtle with an enema.
Right. That's good. And I'm not gonna lie, as a gag, I was very tempted to just have Miss Piggy show up again under Phil. But I was like, no, I gotta follow my own in-world rules. And Phil actually drew Super Mario
Ooh.
with the little suction cup on it. I pulled out Goomba as well. Ricky pulled a Super Mario. So no one got the Luigi on a cloud, which I think is the low point in this.
Mario brother. Can
Right,
I
so-
go to the counter and trade? Ask him if they have him Luigi.
So here's the thing, like you could, but again, I didn't know you could do that till I was a teenager. And I took a girl to McDonald's. We were going to see a movie after, and she got a Happy Meal, which I thought was adorable. And then she like requested a specific toy, and I was like, "You can do that?"
Well, I'm walking up to the counter right now and asking for a Luigi.
Yeah, they're like, "Who's this very bold child in Canada?" I'm the guy. He's from Massachusetts.
What a
Adam, do
Luigi
you remember what
credit.
the toy she got was?
It was a building the Inspector Gadget. Like the multi, and so she like needed a left arm, and so they gave her like a head, and she's like, no, I need the arm. And I was like, it's incredible that you are this dedicated to to getting this Inspector Gadget
Man,
together.
I want to go get a Happy Meal now.
Yeah, it was actually funny. So our joke all summer was like how infuriating to watch Inspector Gadget was, and that it was like Penny and the dog do all the work, and he gets all credit. And she was like, like screw you, Uncle Gadget. She was just like so angry on Penny's behalf. So screw you, Uncle Gadget became our in joke for that summer. But guys, we're moving along, and we're stopping at Kmart next, and we've all got some spending money left. Phil has the least, but we've all got some spending money left, and Kmart is.
Whoa!
Look at all those. Oh, sounds look at
I need
those
a Hulk.
crazy GI Joes.
I gotta grab a Hulk.
So Zazel, off the get-go was grabbing a Hulk.
Gotta get that Hulk.
All right, so the Toy Biz figures are $5.99, Zazel. That's the most expensive thing you bought all day.
But it's Hulk.
Yep. We got some more Hasbros here, some different selection. We've got, these are all Sky Patrol Joes. I remember this being a specific thing, walking into a Kmart one time and seeing only Sky Patrol, like they got it exclusively in Canada or something. I don't know, but that's it. And then we got some Swamp Thing figures, which I loved in the 90s. I thought they were super cool. We got smattering some different turtles here, some different characters, and then we got leftover Batman and Flash Toy Biz figures, and we got some Marvel Toy Biz figures.
How out of left field was Swamp Thing for a toy line in the 90s?
Yeah, well, but I think it was the 90s was like Captain Planet, and like we need to be environmentally friendly.
Wasn't there a TV show in the early 90s?
So there was. It lasted 6 episodes, and then it was replaced with a Captain Caveman reboot.
I love it.
Yeah. You know what kids want? They want more Captain Caveman.
I kind of like Captain Caveman. So the Sky Patrol, the one on the bottom left, that's the character that I am in the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. I used that head and a body from Headman for a while before I used that body for anything else, because I just thought that he had like that chiseled look for a commentator. But I had no idea who the Joe was outside of I never owned him, never had him. I just thought he looked like a good-looking dude, and I'd so desperately wanted to be a good-looking dude.
Most of our conversations is you talking about good-looking dudes. It's weird.
It's not weird. It's okay. Most of the time, I'm talking about Phil.
That's right.
Anyway, where was I? One Hulk, please.
One Hulk for Zazel. You got it. $5.99.
I'm gonna go with that the last one of the Sky Patrol. And Jimbo down there in the top.
Jimbo.
because he likes the samurai rabbit.
The cool thing about Sky Patrol is that they're all repaints except for the head sculpts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab Daredevil.
That's what we're talking about. I love the they say dead air on a live stream is like the level of like contemplation you guys are doing like this matters.
We are going to. There's one more shop we're going to, right? This isn't the last stop.
No, we're going to the inner city mall next.
I'm gonna put back the turtle and go with the top left, the white camoed Sky Patrol.
Such a great
guys,
toy.
I just want to remind you, you have, it's your birthday and you have extra money here, so you went into this place with $37 left.
We're going to another shop, right?
Okay.
Buy all the Sky Patrol. Buy them all.
Yes, is buying us all a figure at the next shop. Good on you.
I'm gonna take those to Joe's. I'm gonna stick to my Joe and Chuck Norris.
How great is Leatherhead?
So good.
Yeah.
I love that toy.
So he's one of the Joes that has still eluded me. So I'm gonna grab him. He's one of the turtles I'm still looking for. But he was great. I loved his whole thing.
It's funny watching this last time. I was like, "Oh, this is so easy. I'd pick this and that." Now that I'm like in it, it's like, "Oh, the pressure's on."
It's real, man. It's real.
Even that Silver Surfer's just jumping out at me though.
Right? How good in Punisher as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a Punisher.
How much money have I got left, Adam?
Well, hold on. Nate's buying something at full price here. So hold on. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Nate has spent $6 up at this point, and he's got 5 figures. Now he's going to spend $6 on one figure.
The Punisher.
Yeah.
He's worth paying full price.
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Firing weapons. We're going to be sniffing caps in the back.
It's good. Phil, you taking a look at any of these Hasbros over here?
I was tempted. Like that Sky Patrol stuff's pretty rare, right? Like,
yeah. So it's rare now, but as a kid, was it what you're into, right? And I think that's the danger of what we're going to get.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my theme. I'm gonna stick with the wrestling this week. But actually, none of those Hasbros, like Brutus Beefcake is my dude, but that's one of the worst Hasbros they ever brought out.
Mm-hmm.
So 10-year-old Phil is going to think there's going to be a better Brutus come out in a couple of years' time. So Ravishing Rick Rude is pretty rough as well. Ultimate Warrior is one of the jumpers. I've already got Andre and Macho.
The jumpers suck.
The jumpers suck, yeah. Smash without Axe, no thanks.
I think Axe is coming though. Axe is probably going to be at the mall.
Axe is at the next store for $1, isn't he?
Yeah.
They're all going to be at the next store for $1.
It'd be funny.
Yeah.
The only Hasbro that they had at the mall was Axe, but he was $100.
Oh, there's so much here. I'm gonna walk out of this store, walking out of Kmart empty-handed. I'm saving my last. What have I got left? $13 for the last store.
Yep.
Yeah, I need a tally.
I'm out of here.
All right, so Zazel, you spent $10 and then got a Hulk, so you spent $15. So you actually got $20 left, buddy.
No, really?
Yeah, you bought Salvo and Captain Gridiron. They were $4 each, and then you bought a 3-pack of Core, which was $2 each, and so that gets you to your 10. You had 35 to start. Then you bought a Hulk, which was $6. So you have $19 left.
Whew. That's more than I thought. You move on to the next person while I have another sneaky look at the toys.
So when we started this, my goal was to recreate the experience of doing this kind of hunt. And I think we've got it there when you're like, I need more time. Just give me.
Yeah, time. I need more time.
Your mom's like, okay, you're gonna pick something. Go. Hold on, mom. I need more time.
Which one?
Also not quite understanding how much money you've got left. It's just like, what can I
Yeah,
get for
It's
this?
very on
Yeah.
brand.
I'm not used to having this much money. So much choice.
Hmm. Grayson's getting all the swamp things. That's a good choice.
Yeah. Yeah. So when Grayson was a young youngster, I downloaded all the Swamp Thing episodes, all 6 of them, and put them on a DVD for him. So when he was a very, very young lad, he would just watch Swamp Thing on repeat.
Yeah.
So,
that's good enough.
and yeah. And it's funny, they had 6 episodes and 2 versions of the theme song. They couldn't choose. So every episode, the theme song switched back and forth and back and forth. It was a real mind event.
Mind bender?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna get Drop Zone. I've decided me and Gaz are going to throw toys off the roof tonight.
All right. So Zazel is getting a Sky Patrol.
Got to get it off. Yo, Joe.
So did you guys pick up all of the Sky Patrol then? Are there any that weren't?
Well, they're
picked
all
up?
there except the only one that's not there is the rare one because I grabbed that one.
Yeah.
Everyone else is still there.
In terms of characters, though, the 3
I mean-
on the right aren't. We haven't doubled up there.
Right.
It would have been funny if Eric came away from Bargain Herald's sad because he had no core figures, bought all the Sky Patrol out of spite, and then traded for the core figures.
Got to get it. Yo, Joe.
Yeah. So Eric has spent $16, so he's got 19 left.
Oh, I'm debating on that top left Swamp Thing, the cactus one.
Like
Did he glow in the dark?
Yeah, he was a BioGlow
Yeah.
something.
Oh, that leaves me with 13 for the next store, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll pull the trigger. I'm gonna get that Swamp Thing.
All right. Excellent choice. He's my favorite Swamp Thing.
He's got the mace and the axe. How could you go wrong?
Right.
Just imagine these 6 little kids standing in front of this toy section, and they're going, "No, there's gonna be a better beefcake coming out in 2 years. Don't worry about that. I'll pull the trigger on that cactus one. Let's go."
Yeah. Why does that one guy have 2 different scales of wrestlers? Leave me alone.
Life has ruined us.
We got our backpacks and all the toys we just bought.
Well, I think it was our first time we did this on Mo Tuesdays. We were in the mall and we're talking like we're there. So we're in the mall. And Hazel's like, I'm going to put back my gray skull and swap it for this Snake Mountain. I'm like, why are you bringing this toy into the store with you? Like, why is that disappearing?
Guys, I just found another $50.
All right. So Eric has 13 for the next store. Nate has spent 12. So he's got 23 for the next store, which is exciting. Zazel, he bought 10 and 6. And so he's got 14 left.
You're not keen on the TMNT stuff, Eric?
I've already spent $10 on the TMNT. So
So much pressure to have a fun time on this show.
it's funny that the disguised Donatello. I just remembered his actual disguise, the mask piece. My younger sister, she was terrified of that. I think to the point where my mom took it away and put it in a closet somewhere. I wasn't allowed to have it because she just had this visceral reaction to it. She'd cry when she saw it.
Wow. And doesn't she work in the world of props and set design
Oh
now?
yeah, she's like a spooky girl now, goth adjacent.
Do you occasionally bring out that mask to see if she still's?
But a Groucho mask is just that bit too far.
My favorite description of any person is goth adjacent. That's my favorite thing. Oh man! All right. So are we done here at Kmart, fellas?
Are we going back through on the way home or no?
So this is the thing. It's once you come up, you just can't stop. You're there and you're out.
Adam's mom, can we stop back at Kmart?
I left my hat at Kmart. We're gonna go back and get it.
Can we go back to Zellers?
So
If you give her $10, Gaz, she might do it.
that's right. If you pay for
Wow.
gas.
Hey, look,
What?
this nice old lady just gave me $100.
In 1990, $10 would fill your tank twice over. It seems.
Guys, the cashier gave me the wrong change. I have more money.
It's a
working?
Thunder Bay miracle. All right. So I hate to be the mom in this scenario, but I'm like, okay, you boys ready to go?
All right, sorry. I'll get everything.
Let's go.
All right.
We're having
So
fun tonight.
we hop back in the Grand Marquis. We head to the Intercity Mall. And you can see it's the snowy wasteland of Canada, even in July.
Is that where they filmed Dawn of the Dead?
Probably not. But speaking of Dawn of the Dead, how many copies of Dawn of the Dead do you have on VHS, Eric?
I only have 2, but I have, I don't know, 10 of Night of the Living Dead. Just
how
totally
good is that
public
movie?
Domain. So there's all sorts of weird covers and stuff for it. Dawn
Yeah.
wasn't. So there's only a couple. Well, there's probably a bunch, but they're harder to come by. So
This is the kind of VHS collection I'm talking about. Just those places.
Awesome.
But as we were walking from the car to the door, guess what happens?
You found $50.
Nah, but Phil found 10.
Hey!
Phil's got $10.
So Phil, your total
This is
spend
ever.
goes from 13 to 23, buddy.
All right.
Oh
Phil.
yeah.
This whole time I've been saying I found money, and you're thinking to yourself, "Will you just shut up about that? I've
What
got
a
a thing
day.
coming up."
Well, but I pulled a name from a hat earlier today, or like yesterday. I was making up this slideshow, but like who's going to find and how much money, and it was
Nice.
Phil and 10. So that's just the way the
Couldn't have gone to a better kid.
couldn't have gone to a better kid. And at first he thought it was fake. He's like, "Why is this money purple?" I'm like, "Oh no, that's real. That's real Canadian money. You're going to be okay." And then so we hop into Toys and Wheels in the mall, and here is what is before us.
Oh man!
Oh.
Oh,
We got some more Hasbros. We've got
Lee.
the new line of Dark Knight figures that came out in 1990. So I remember specifically being in a store and seeing both Toy Biz Batman and the Kenner Dark Knight Batman being available at the same time. And we got some more figures in the TMAT line here. And we got some Dick Tracy figures. And I distinctly remember being with my grandmother and grandfather in Toys and Wheels and seeing Dick Tracy figures for the first time. And we were going to see the movie that night in Thunder Bay. And I was able to snag a Dick Tracy that day. It was
because we're
pretty
going to see Dick Tracy after this.
great. That's the big surprise for guys.
All right, I'm going first. I'm picking Dick in the blank.
Dick Tracy and the blank.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's picking Dick. And he's
Go.
going.
I don't know who the blank is because I haven't seen the movie yet, and I don't know the comic books because I'm just a small kid. But the blank looks like a cool villain.
Oh yeah! Remember that Simpsons thing with Ned Flanders, where he's like, "I'm Dick Tracy, take that, prune face." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Now I'm prune face, take that, Dick Tracy." He's like, "Now I'm prune Tracy."
see.
I'm taking the Joker,
Oh, you're just buying a Joker.
and then I need a Batman, I guess, to go with it.
Yeah.
Because I would have bought up more Joes if I realized there weren't more Joes here, but I can't pass up a Batman and a Joker. It's 1990, right?
This is a bust because there's no Joes here.
Yeah, this is sad. Sad
But
days.
sometimes in 1990, it was coming to the end of that original A-Raw run.
Yeah, but we don't know that.
No, but I'm saying you go to a store sometimes, there'd be no Joes there. And you're like, what's happening here?
No Joes.
It's a new decade, Gaz. Time to move on, buddy.
No, I don't want to. I'm staying.
Not
with
his
Joe.
birthday.
On his birthday. So Zazel, you got $2 left. So unless you got someone who wants to throw some change, I think you're done, brother.
I'll give Gaz my twofer. That's a loony, isn't it?
There you go.
Well, this was 1990, so it would have been a brown $2 bill. We didn't have toonies yet.
That was what, 96?
Yeah, 96 those came out, and it was a big debate well, maybe not the big, but in Nipigon it was a big debate. Half the people called them a toonie, and half the people called them a doubloony. Both made no sense.
So not a brownie?
Not a brownie.
Do you want my doubloony? Gaz, you get my doubloony.
Why are you giving me the doubloony? I have plenty of
It's
money.
your birthday. It's your birthday.
They was trying to be super nice to Gaz, and Gaz's like, I don't need your toonie. I got money.
need you.
I got money.
I'm gonna
Alright,
get. I'm gonna get the 4 Turtles brothers.
The 4 Turtle Brothers.
Yeah,
Good call.
and then I can't afford anything else. I got $3 left, so I may as well give that to Gaz for his birthday too.
If we buy everything for the birthday.
It's his ass so he can spend some more money.
Nah, I'm good. There's no Joes here. I got a Batman and a Joker.
Eric, you got $13 left, brother. Anything here tickling your fancy?
Definitely Metalhead.
Definitely Metalhead. No, it's crazy. All the figures you're picking, I just happen to have right beside me today.
Just handy.
Just handy.
Okay. Definitely gonna grab another turtle. I just don't know which one.
You can't go
All the
wrong
good
with
ones there.
Usagi Yojimbo. How cool was that character?
He's so good. I remember him like on the playground. There was this guy, Wayne Haskell was his name. He's probably watching. And he had Usagi Yojimbo, and we just thought he was like, yeah, just like another turtle character. And he was like, no, he's his own thing. Like he's his own thing. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so he like brought in an old Usagi Yojimbo comic, and I was like, this is, and it was like the idea of that like another property was brought into the Turtles line. I was like, what kind of multiverse is this? And then last night I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm like, the multiverse thing has just really been done.
What a wild like kid to like have that knowledge though. Like how would he even found this
So
manga or whatever it was? Like
I think he had like an older cousin that was super into it, right? I think that was the situation. But yeah, I remember him
I
just
remember
being like,
seeing it like in the late '80s, going into the comic book shop, seeing all like the you see the main comics, and then there'd be like these bag packs of comics that nobody was buying, so they bag them up and sell them for like $5. And I remember like getting some of that and some weird like karate or ninja themed comics, and there were like 3 Usagi comics in there. I'm like, look at this crazy rabbit samurai guy. This world is cool.
Zazel, you can't just make up your own rules.
There's a bit of Clearance Joe's at the register.
What?
This is great news.
Where are they? Let me see them.
Yeah, have a look through this bin. There's a triple T. A triple T in 19
$19.
It's $1. And I just happened to find $1.
You want your money back?
No. I'm going to put back my Joker.
all right, I'm gonna grab Space Cadet Raph as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's great. So I remember it's funny that when the original Turtles came out, then there was like the wacky action Turtles were the second ones to come out. And so my original 4 were half regular and half wacky action. So my Mikey and my Raph were wacky action. And then you were like looking around to see like, and then when these disguised Turtles came out, you're like, what is happening? Like, why is Donnie in a coat and Raph's in a spacesuit? Like, it was so weird, but they were so cool as well. And wasn't the Leo from that line the Samurai Leo?
Yep.
Samurai Leo, yeah.
Yeah, what a beauty figure that was.
I also thought as a kid that I didn't realize it was one of each. Like I assumed there was also like a Space Cadet Don and a Space Cadet Mike, and same with the disguise and so on and so forth. But
yeah, and also I think in that run was like the first storage shell Donnie, where he had like it was just him, and he had a black belt, And he sold so well, they released storage shells of everybody with the colored belts. So there's
There you go.
there's a little bit of TMNT deep dive knowledge for you. Phil, you hate all these Hasbros, buddy?
All right. So this is the last stop, right?
This last one, you got
This is
$23 left.
23 smackaroos. All right. I'm gonna go with I'm going X and Smash.
All right.
Give me
I had a feeling it was going to go up.
Yeah. That leaves me 13, and I can probably get another. Let's just get a massive Royal Rumble going. I'll go with Jake the Snake.
Is this the last stop?
That was
This is
my
the last stop,
brother's favorite.
There's no
That was
surprise
my brother's.
stops?
No more surprise stops. This is it.
How much do I
Gotta
have
spend
left
up,
over?
Gaz.
Yes, you're sitting at $17.
$17.
Yeah.
All right,
You might as
X
well-
and Smash, Jake the Snake, and
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase was always rough because he had to wrestle in his suit.
You go, Gaz.
Well, you need a belt.
Zaz, what did you get?
Yeah,
What did
need a
you buy? You got just a Joker, right?
Joker and
I
Batman.
got a Joker and a Batman. But now I'm thinking, instead of getting a Joker and a Batman, how much is that?
It's $12.
I reckon I might instead get a WWF. Two WWFs. Yeah, we're gonna play some wrestling. So I'm sorry to jump in, Gaz, but if we're gonna throw our GI Joes with the parachutes off the roof before we have a Royal Rumble. So I'm gonna bring in the Ted DiBiase, who's gonna put the title on the line. Phil, he's gonna put the title on the line.
Yeah,
Royal Rumble.
go.
And one other character? You know what? Are you gonna get a wrestler, Gaz, or no?
Well, now that we're gonna do a Royal Rumble, I might as well get one, right?
Oh yes, brilliant.
But the odds are Phil's going to have like 6 guys in that Rumble, and Gaz is going to have one. Like, what are the odds that Gaz is going to come out on top?
Depends who he has.
Well, I might as well get Yojimbo, and I'll grab Jake the Snake.
Nobody wants Hulk Hogan.
All right.
Nah, that's not the best Hulkster, I don't think. I'm actually going to get a couple of turtles. I think I'm going to mix things up slightly. So I'm going to get my favorite turtle. I'm going to get Mikey. And I'm also going to get Casey Jones because I love Casey Jones as well.
Good choice.
Yeah. Casey Jones is beauty.
And he's got a bag full of weapons.
Yeah. And if you take those weapons out, he has an empty cricket bag.
Ouch.
Ouch. There we go. That leaves me $3. So Gaz, you can have the $3 too,
I'm
buddy.
gonna grab Leo as well. How much does that leave me with?
So you're at 27. If you grab a Leo,
Yeah.
then you are down to $6.
All right, I'm gonna grab a Raph as well, and I'm gonna switch my parts so they look like he looks like the comic book version of Leo. I'm gonna get.
So you're buying a Raph, switching around so he looks like the comic version. That's what all the kids were doing in the '90s, getting those comic accurate. Just buying 4 Raphs and. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, Zazel,
Someone said Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we'll chuck him in there.
Did you say you're going to get a second WWF guy? You got Ted DiBiase, Zazel, and then
Yeah, because now I've got extra cash because I put the Batman's back.
right.
Who don't we have? I guess who didn't grab a turtle?
I think everybody got the turtle.
I better get a turtle then. I'm gonna go good old Leatherhead.
Leatherhead, beauty.
Nice.
Now we're all playing.
Yeah. What a haul you guys have today in Thunder Bay. And then because you all have a few bucks left, pocket change, we convinced Mom to stop on the way home at Robin's Donut. And that was always. Did you guys have Robin's Donuts in Stratford?
No, I don't remember Robin's.
Oh, it was like the classic '80s donut store where the donuts are great, but it's like everything smelled like cigarettes because there was no smoking section. Every coffee shop was a cloud of cigarettes.
Do you remember when the smoking stuff, like the smoking bans, were coming in, and there's that weird sort of in between period where Tim Hortons would have like a glassed-in room?
It's like a fish tank.
Yeah,
it was just old guys smoking. It was just this haze in there. It was crazy.
Gross.
Yeah, there was a time where you would like go to buy, like when we went there, I get like they had like the bottled milkshakes, it was like the Mr. Big milkshake, whatever it is. And the plastic bottle would smell of cigarette smoke as you were drinking it. You're like, what is going on? Like, what? But you didn't question. You're like, yeah, this is what it is, man. It's like people smoke. What's going on? And even the concept of like restaurants would have a smoking section where it's just like this invisible wall. They're like, wow, they smoke over here, not over here.
Yeah,
like,
it's a different part of the big open room. It's fine.
It's not gonna waft over. It's not gonna ruin your meal forever.
I remember sometimes when we were kids, Dad would go to the pub and you could look into the windows, like look into the bar from the outside, and so we knew that like if we hassled Dad, he'd get us a can of Coke and a bag of chips or something. So we let the window peer it in, and there's just like just this thick haze of cigarette smoke. Like, Dad! Sure enough, he'd emerge from the mist. Taking the chips.
So, did you send me in to get those, or were you just walking by and looking and saw your dad at the bar? Like,
yeah,
hey,
like, didn't know he'd be there, so you'd look in, and if he's there, Dad.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So here's the rundown, gentlemen. Gaz, the birthday boy, he's got a Leo and a Raph. He's got a Laser Viper. He's got a Topside. He's got a 3-pack of core figures. He's got a Chuck Norris in white pants. He's got a couple Sky Patrols. And he's got a Jake the Snake and a Usagi Yojimbo. Yeah, and he's got a Dick Tracy and a Blank. He's got such a handful of toys at this point in time. Like maybe the best birthday ever. That's what's going on.
Happy birthday, Gaz.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah. Joe Fan 84 is here. How are you, Joe Fan 84?
And then Phil.
Hey.
Phil has got 3 black card LJNs, which are actually my grand toys. He's got a Mikey and a Casey Jones. He's got Hasbro, Macho Man, Andre the Giant, Axe, Smash, and Jake the Snake. He's ready to have a WrestleMania there. But all kinds of
stuff. Oh, yeah. Stoked with those LJNs.
Yeah, you lit up. You were like,
they were my jam. I was more the LJN generation than the Hasbros, so
yeah,
stoked to get those 3.
Zazel, you have Captain Gridiron, Salvo. You've got a 3-pack of core figures.
Yeah,
you've got
nice.
a Hulk that you're very excited about.
I'm very excited about that Hulk.
He's
going to do the Royal Rumble. The only Hulk we need. Don't worry about Hulk Hogan. We've got the only Hulk we need for this Royal Rumble.
There we go.
And you've got a Ted DiBiase. You've got a Leatherhead. And you've got one more thing here. I'm trying to figure out who it is. You got a Sky Patrol figure. You got your parachute. Yeah, Joe got your Drop Zone. That's it. Eric, you came out with a Ray Fillet, a wetsuit Mike, and a Daredevil, a Swamp Thing, a Metalhead, and a Space Cadet Raph. So you got a healthy little assortment there, which is great. Then Nate, again, on Gaz's birthday, he's 6 liters of figures. He's got a New Adventures He-Man and Skeletor, which he's not regretting right now, but he's like, what are these guys? Like, how do they fit into my He's got a 3-pack of core figures. he's got a Punisher figure, and he's got the 4 main turtles ready to go. So you guys are killing it. So now the question is, what would Adam have got if he was on this trip with you and he had $35? Again, keeping in mind, my strong suit is not patience or forethought, especially as a kid. So we would have went to get out of here, McDonald's. We went to Zellers, and I would have seen these new Hasbro wrestling figures, and I would have bought all of them. Like I have enough for all of them except for 2, so I wouldn't have bought Ted DiBiase, and I wouldn't have bought the Ultimate Warrior. So I would have got Smash, Axe, Andre, Jake, Hogan, and Savage, and I would have had a 6-man tag when I got home, and all my money would have been gone right away. and then I would have saw you guys buying all these figures and getting sales and discounts, and just I'm like trying not to lose my mind. I was like, okay, it's fine, it's fine. I got it. Phil finds $10 on the ground, and I'm like, oh, man. Like,
Poor Adam.
I'm looking at Phil with puppy dog eye, and he's like buying more Hasbro's and just going out. That's the way Adam. That's the way Adam would have toy shopped in 1990 with $35 in his hand. It would have burnt a hole pretty quick.
I forgot Axe and Smash were at Zellers.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. They were, and so they were the only tag team that was sold individuals. Right after that, it was all just like 2 packs of tag teams.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Imagine putting tag teams in a separate pack. Like it's almost as dumb as putting the Crimson Twins, Tamux and Zaymot, and different boxes for GIJ.
Well, the LJN sold Axe and not Smash. They didn't make a Smash. They just sold an Axe.
How many kids do you reckon would have got one of the Crimson Twins, and then said, "I need the other one" to the parents, and then the parents have just gone out and bought the exact same one again?
Well, they come in a 2-pack in GIJ.
Yeah, but if they didn't, it would have been mayhem.
That would be crazy.
But now they do. Now they come in separate boxes.
Yep. Unbelievable. Well, guys.
You can't get a 3-pack with the Baroness now.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when like the Valor versus Venom era came out and you could buy those like 8-packs of figures?
Oh, that was so good.
It'd be like Cobra Commander, the Baroness, and 8 troopers and a throne.
Well, that Viper pack was so good.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a guy at Joe Fest this year selling like open, but all those Valor versus Venom troop builders. And they were like $3 a piece. He had them like, grouped together. It was incredible. And, but it was funny because you saw people being like, oh, look at these sweet troopers. And you saw guys being like, those aren't original. And just like, it's like spitting on like, this is terrible. Like, if it's not original, I'm out of here. And I was like, that's amazing. So
I wish I'd grown up in Canada. Like, we did not have that selection back in New Zealand growing up, that's for sure. And I definitely didn't have $35 to spend.
Well, again, it was like the summertime. You know, sometimes your grandparents, hey, Leona,
hey.
So when I was at camp this week, there was 5 girls that came from Japan to Canada for summer camp.
Oh yeah.
And I asked all of them if they knew Leona, and they didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, she's from Japan. You should know her. And she's like, I don't know what you're getting at. It was very, very funny.
Surely they've heard of Treasures for Trigger. They must know who Leona is.
Clearly.
I've seen that place I've seen that country on a map. It's like this big.
That's right.
Phil, I thought it was great on your video where someone recognized you as you were filming.
Yeah, your
one of my students. Yeah, that was a very random encounter. Yeah.
But are you a legend there because you're like the guy from New Zealand in Japan? Like in a sea of Japanese people, you're the one Kiwi?
I'd like to say yes, but no.
You're a legend to us.
I'm just another random white dude walking around. Yeah.
Well, not to us, buddy. Not to us. That's not.
You're the random white dude to us.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks, fellas. From Zellers.
Well, guys, this has been.
Birthday, Gaz, by the way.
Pardon me.
Happy birthday to Gaz.
Yeah, happy birthday to Gaz. That was exciting. I got fake Hans Chow to wish Gaz a happy birthday in our group chat.
I was like, is that fake Hans Chow?
It is. It is. But guys, thanks for coming to Zellers with me this morning. We're going to do this again. Thanks for Eric for being my long lost cousin and hanging out with the boys. This is a trial by fire. Just come hang out with us. But it was great, and you got
awesome.
You got some great stuff with you. And I'm going to hit the outro, and then we'll see you guys all next time that we get together for Zellers with the Fellers. This is becoming one of my favorite things to do. Take her easy.
Will you meet her tonight at the lakehead? Will you tell her I'll see her someday? When I've come to the end of my journey, down this long, lonely road to Thunder Bay. Will you meet her tonight at the lakehead and tell her I'll see her someday? When I've come to the end of my journey, down this long, lonely road to Thunder Bay.